It's been 10 years, guys. 10 long years. So holy crap, Final Fantasy 15 news was borderline shot at us with a freaking pressure cannon lately, and there is a lot of stuff to go through. For those who don't know, Final Fantasy 15 is a game that has technically been in development for 10 gosh diddly dang years now, because personally, I think Square Enix likes being dramatic. Of course, their big release date reveal of September 30th was kinda shot in the foot a few hours prior because of GameSpot spilling the beans. Like, oh my god, how do you mess up so bad? Someone got mega fired, that's for sure. How much y'all want to bet they got sued for breaking the disclosure agreement? Leave the amount of money you think GameSpot will lose in the comments below. But all that stuff aside, the game is finally coming out in a few months, and I'd just like to take a step back and take it all in. Anime was a mistake. But really, I want to go over Final Fantasy 15 Uncovered, aka the We Are Going to Beat You Over the Head with News conference. And for the record, I'm not going to cover every single detail, just the stuff that stuck out to me and my general thoughts about the up-and-coming game, and all the stuff that's been fed to us over the past few years. But first, real talk. Square, calm down with the flashy antics and annoying stuff. It's games. Stop making it so awkward and making a big old song and dance with cringy jokes. Just show us the stuff, give us the info, and call it a night. Because it's not the freaking Oscars. We just want to see hot anime boys, you dipshit. Now, moving on, a ton of stuff was showed off at this event, and hey, if you want to see all the trailers and deeds, go somewhere else, you dang. We here to do business. But what we got was trailers showing off more summons, trains, story bits, and just stuff. More of the same, really, but it sure does look cool. Of course, we finally got to see some of the magic, which is just kind of there, and yeah, look at these frost and particle effects. Yeah, holy sh**. Damn graphics, though! All of the game trailer stuff was good, and snaps for Square for showing off all the stuff of the game, featuring Florence and the Machines, which was an odd choice, but really touching in my opinion, even though I'm 90% sure Florence has never even seen a video game. But one of the trailers was an environment trailer showing off the details of the world, and the second I saw that, I knew this game was going to be broken up into open world zones rather than one massive open world. I mean, we kinda already knew that, but seeing all of the details of this world, I can see why they went with zones, because I'm pretty sure the only thing that could run this game as one open world would be a nuclear-powered PS4. And just, holy crap, this world looks denser than these buns. I make funnies on the internet, guys, laugh. But world stuff aside, the thing that I notice every time we get new Final Fantasy 15 footage is the GUI is always different. Like, they keep changing it for some reason. I don't know if they're obsessed with aesthetics over there or what, but guys, just look at this. Why? It's a GUI. Calm down! But that brings me to my first concern with this game. I think Square is so scared of people not liking the game that they keep changing a bunch of stuff for maximum fan pleasing. Things have been rewritten, scenes have been cut, Prompto's face was changed out of the blue for some reason, and then there's the bipolar GUI. The point is, I worry there have been so many changes and switcheroonies that the game could feel fragmented, if you feel me there. The need to please is really strong with 15 that it could bog down the flow, because so far, if people then absolutely love something, boop, cut it, get it out of here, bring in something neater that's hip and cool with the youth. I mean, they announced just a few months ago that the game was playable from start to finish, and I'm thinking, I feel like that should have been done sooner, you know? Like, that's kind of important. Granted, who knows how things will actually play out. I mean, the story has been simplified compared to past Final Fantasy games, so that's nice. It's more of a Lost Prince boy band road trip adventure, and the boys could just have wacky crap happen to them, and just moving all the events in a different order wouldn't make much of a difference, so who knows how the game will actually flow. Moving on, though, holy crap, there's a movie, which is great, and it looks great, and it seems appropriate, and you know it's gonna be a big deal because they got the most recognizable TV actors they could afford. But the big red flag that popped in my mind was, if this movie takes place alongside the game, on a scale of 1 to 10, if I don't watch this movie, how screwed am I story-wise? Look, I'm gonna watch this thing regardless, but how necessary is it going to be to watch this thing to understand the game's plot? They're gonna be missing chunks? What's the dealio? Either way, the movie looks great, and I think we can all agree that Sean Bean being in anything is a spoiler now, so it's been nice knowing you, Dad. There's also an anime, which is more side content than anything, and it just adds to the character, so yaoi shippers, get ready, I got some material to work with. Now, during the event, one of the hosts mentioned how Final Fantasy VII had a bunch of junk added to it years after, and Final Fantasy 15 is going for that approach, but instead releasing everything all together. But that comment kinda shows Square's expectation for this game, them, though. They have mentioned surpassing the success of Final Fantasy VII has totally been the goal, and they are going all out with 15 to make sure that happens. While I think 10 years is a painfully long development cycle, having a movie and a bunch of extra stuff while carefully crafting the game kinda maybe sorta justifies the long development cycle, but just barely. Honestly though, Square needs this to be a great game, and they have spent years buffing out major issues, and from what we have seen and played, it will be a good game. But can it reach that great potential? Because Lord knows that's how Square is treating it. Personally, I want this game to be great and pass Final Fantasy VII, but they are really pushing this game is for everyone and not just for weebs and fans. Do you like explosions in Call of Duty? Well, sit down, sucker, and look at this chick! She sure is interesting, wouldn't you agree? You can't blame Square though, they are a company after all, who need things to appeal to the masses, but it seems like the contradiction because they also keep saying how Final Fantasy 15 is returning to its roots and blah blah blah. Do you like us yet, fans? We're sorry about 13. I'm personally very excited for 15 though, since it's the kind of game I love because open world real-time action JRPGs are great, aka Kingdom Hearts. But 15 feels like that kid that sits in the back of the class pretending not to care, but in reality it's some desperate kid with a dumb haircut hoping you think it looks cool. And speaking of looking cool and keeping that hype alive and real, they also released a free demo, aka Platinum Demo, and it shows off young Noctis and some changes to the combat. And first things first, it's short as hecky, and while I think it's fun and kinda goofy, I'm not really sure what this thing is supposed to be showing off. Because the demo is its own separate thing, like, it won't sell you on 15 at all. If anything, it's just a zhuzhed up playable tech demo to show off the weather features and the magic? I don't know, it's cute but unnecessary in my opinion, but hey, if you want to get to talk to fluffy whatever dingus over here, then go for it, it's fun. But if you want to try out 15 for realsies, go play episode Disque, you'll get a lot more mileage out of that. And I'm like 90% sure Platinum Demo was only made because they had a bunch of random assets hanging around and some Square employee got bored. But with all of this stuff attached to 15, it really brings up the big question. Is Final Fantasy 15 too big to fail? Or rather, is it too important to fail? 15 can't fail from a money standpoint, we know that. It's gonna sell like crazy, but what about critically? The attention to detail, constant tweaking and polish, and overall density of the game makes it seem like it could pass Final Fantasy VII. But we haven't played the full game yet, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking there could be a massive design flaw or thingy that we're not seeing yet that could bog down the entire game. I worry that 15 is designed around what Square thinks we want, and I don't know if that'll help or hurt the game yet. All I know is that if Square wants to keep the Final Fantasy name alive and well, this has to be a groundbreaking game, and 15 has the potential to be outstanding, but we still don't know. Be hyped, but don't be blinded by it. Everything has the potential to be disappointing. And for the record, and a little side note here, why? Look, I'm fine with airships and all that jazz, but really, Square? Your whole concept is a fantasy based on reality, and you got a ton of other flying things just chilling in the game that makes sense. Why the hecky does the car have to fly? I get it, it's the royal family car and they got the bling bling, but God, I mean, my inner child was like, aha, that's so cool and dumb and I want it. And then I realized, wow, this doesn't fit at all. It's kinda stupid, because Square, it's Final Fantasy 15, not the Batman-mobile Returns, you idiot! Hope you all enjoyed this video, guys, and if you agree with me, that's great! And if you want to murder my insides, that's wonderful! Why don't you tell all your friends about my awfulness and share this on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr so they know you hate me extra much. Later, you big nerds! Buns out! I literally just dropped the mic. Buns is out. I'm gonna go take a nap.